Well, my dad traveled here back in like 1971. Throughout his travels, he went up north, different states. He came to see how the United States was. He traveled. He would be picked up by immigration and sent back home. But throughout the time that he came here, he came to look for a better place to try to establish family and kind of what was going on back in Guatemala with the wars and the fighting. They came and there was this place, it used to be called Yellow Camp, and it was a big building just right across the street here, where there's a yellow, little blue house across here, and that's where we lived at, and that's where we were raised when my dad and my mom were here. And throughout that time, he, continued raising a family. I have another brother named Carlos, another brother named Junior, Pascual Martinez. So, and my dad, he worked for many years. They used to go picking tomatoes out or picking oranges. When they first got here, they went out into the orange groves and started picking oranges, because Florida's known for the oranges. So, but when they would leave at 4 o'clock in the morning to get dropped off at wherever they were going to pick or harvest, and they would leave at 4 in the morning. So because of immigration, they were afraid. They would get dropped off and then get picked up later on in the evening, late in the evening, and come home to the kids that are left behind. And my dad also, throughout the years of working there, little by little, he started saving money, and when they had enough to save up, he ended up purchasing a bus, and that's when he started doing his going and contracting with a company named Du Bois Farms. He worked with Du Bois Farms for many years. He took like hundreds of people to work throughout the time of the years that he worked with them, and he helped a lot of people because that was the only way to get to work, especially if you didn't have a car, they took them to the big farms, and as you can see today, that there's still some of the buses that move around with people on there, and they go picking the crops. After many years after that, he became, I think he got 2 buses after that. He ended up having 2 buses, and kind of there was so many people that wanted to work. But we help each other out. Indiantown is not looked at as the best community out there, but when we need help with one another, we're here to help each other. We're here to help. The jobs that he'd be able to give them. If someone needed a job, they say, "Oh yes, go to Don Pascual. Don Pascual, he'll take you. He'll give you a job. If you want to work, you want to make money, go. As long as you're willing to go pick the produce. If you're willing to work, he's going to give you a job." And that's how they knew him. And they would come to him and they would ask him. And that's how he made friends. He made lots of friends. And not only because of a job, they would come over here, but if they, my dad was a real kind person, and if they had financial issues, he would help them out a certain way that he can. Or if they had, even back home in Guatemala, if someone was going through some kind of financial issues or sickness or something, he would even send money back home just to be able to help them back home also. It's been a little tough, but like my dad had told everyone that if something was ever to happen to him, we shouldn't cry, we shouldn't be sad, we should be happy because he will be with God, he will be resting. And that's something that he always said, don't cry, be happy. And I think that's what really helped us throughout these times, because even though throughout everything that has happened, he always put God first, and he knew that if he was going to go, he would be in a better place.